Hi, my name is Alexandros Photi and welcome back to Perpetual-Time channel. And today we're going to be talking about the IWC Big Pilot's watch, which is the case reference IW5 000901. Now this watch is actually my own watch. So once again, I'm not being paid or sponsored to actually do this review. So the reason why I want to do this review on this watch is it's one of my favorite watches. I've always wanted this particular watch. Now the reason why I like this watch is because of the size, the fact that you can read the dial very easily, plus it's actually got a 7-day in-house movement. Now the diameter of this watch is 46.2 millimeters and the height is 15.7 millimeters. So this is actually a very, very big watch. Also, the water resistancy is 60 meters, obviously making sure the crown is screwed in at all times. Also, the in-house movement, actually done by IWC, is 51111, which has 311 components. Now, the pros to this watch is the fact that the functionality is very, very easy to read, and it has a 7-day power reserve by IWC. Now, for me, when I bought this watch, it was not just the size, but I've always wanted an IWC, and this IWC has always caught my eye, and I finally bought one. I actually bought this one pre-owned. And the strap as well is very, very high quality strap, as in-house IWC strap. You can get customized straps, but this strap is very good. Plus the clasp is good quality. Dial wise, the luminosity is very strong on this. The luminosity on the dial is very large and very strong, and also on the hands luminosity minus the second hand. The weight of this IWC is actually very fair considering the size of the watch. Obviously the watch is on a bracelet, so the strap is pretty light. However, it's very, very thick and it wears very well on the wrist. The clasp doesn't weigh that much, but when you actually wear the watch, it doesn't feel that heavy at all. Should we show them the box? So here we have the IWC official box. Now this watch I didn't buy brand new. I bought it pre-owned, 2013. It actually comes with everything. So I'm just going to put the watch. I'm going to try and put the watch. It's not working. Get on. Get on. Let's try again. So here we have the IWC box. Take the watch out. So here is the IWC box. And then let's show you underneath. So this is all the actual accessories I got with the watch. I've not added anything. This is my old strap, black one. Also, that's an original IWC strap. That's my old brown strap as well. That's just whatever that is. And then we got some paperwork from IWC and from the authorized dealer. My IWC guarantee booklet. Now the negatives of this particular watch I found, and I've heard from others that have owned this watch, is when you wear the watch on your wrist, say your left wrist, the crown actually digs right in. So when you're moving your wrist like this, the crown, because it's so big, the crown can actually leave a mark on your actual hand. Now that's probably thinking, well, it's not a big deal, but it does actually become quite frustrating at times. And also because of the size of the case, it's very, very difficult to wear this watch when you're wearing a shirt. Almost impossible actually. Because the movement is in-house, meaning that IWC have produced this movement, then parts are restricted. So parts being restricted makes it very difficult for this watch to be serviced out of IWC. So this may be a consideration if you do buy this watch. Service prices on this watch can vary from IWC. Usually around, from the top of my head, is around late 7s, early 800s, 700 to 800 pounds for a basic service. As long as the watch hasn't had any water damage or any other shocks, if it's a straightforward service, you're looking around 700 to 800, and I believe that also includes the valet of the case as well, which has been done very well by IWC. This watch has been almost as good as my valet. So now we are going to be scoring my IWC Big Pilots. Now, movement, I've scored it 3 out of 5. Reason why I scored the movement 3 out of 5, even though it's an in-house movement and it's 7 days. Unfortunately, in-house movement, especially being an IWC, means that you're restricted by IWC. Now, this movement isn't a modification in terms of based on an ETA caliber that most watchmakers may be able to work on. The fact that it's completely in-house IWC means that they would have to have the technical data and access to spare parts. And I really don't know any watchmakers that have access to IWC parts, only the ones that are accredited. So I would give that a 3. Now, aesthetics, I would give a 5. Reason why I give aesthetics a 5 is because maybe I'm just being slightly biased. And I just love the case design, very basic in terms of the way the case is. It's not out of this world, but it's very large. The fact that the dial is very easily, you can easily see the dial. I mean, you can't miss this dial, can you? You can't miss the dial, the hands, dates at 6. The fact that the 7-day power reserve is very large on it. Very easy to put on your wrist as well. There's no messing around, just adjust it from the strap. So I've classed the reliability on this watch being 4 out of 5 from speaking to actual owners of this watch, and also the technical data on this watch. I find that the watch is movement wise is reliable. I would say though, mentioning before, the fact that it has to go back to IWC for servicing, but as in the 7-day power reserve and timekeeping is actually very, very good. 7 days is great, if you ask me. So I mean, it is a fantastic in-house movement, but restrictions on parts doesn't help. So I gave it a 4 out of 5. Practicality, I gave it a 3 out of 5 because some people may see this watch as being too big, which I can totally respect because it is 46.2 millimeters in diameter, which is very, very big for any watch. Plus the issue with the crown, as mentioned before, where the actual crown, the large crown, can dig into your wrist, and you cannot wear this watch when you're wearing a shirt. Value, I put down at 2 out of 5, and the reason for this is that this watch, in terms of resale value, isn't the best, and also the fact is that you are kind of restricted in where you can have this watch serviced, i.e. I would recommend, as a watchmaker, can't believe I'm saying this, but I would recommend that you go to IWC because they are the only people that actually have access to parts and have experience and technical data, and also any modifications that are needed to be done on this watch, if you were to buy the earlier models, can then be done in-house. So 2 out of 5. So the overall score on my IWC Big Pilot's watch is 3.5 out of 5. Now please don't let this discourage you from owning this watch. It's just that obviously, as you know, I'm a WASTEP certified watchmaker, also a fellow of the BHI. I sit on the board of the BHI, I sit on the board of the guild. So I'm just giving you my unbiased, unsponsored, unpaid review.